doing today? All right. Thank you very much for that introduction. I am so excited to be here today on multiple levels. I'm just excited to be here as we talk about listen to her. Now, there's a lot of things that I can talk about. I can talk about real estate. I can talk about how the first real estate transaction yielded me $250,000 when I was only making $9.14 an hour. I can also talk about the mindset and the power of it. The power of the mindset to be able to change the outcomes in your life. I can talk about that too. The power of negative thinking versus positive thinking and the impact that it brings. But I decided to just tell a story. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, good. So I have a question for you. You guys ready for the question? Yeah. Here's my question. Have you ever had a conversation with a homeless person? You know, the one pushing the carriage with all their life belongings from the local grocery store? You know, maybe that homeless person that's in the alleyway and has that stench of urine. Have you ever had a conversation? Well, let me tell you something. November 8th, 2017, that will be a day I will forever remember. First of all, I had to get up early in the morning. And contrary to the belief that all business owners wake up with the rising of the sun, it ain't true. I really hate getting up early in the morning. But this particular day, I had to get up early because I had just recently closed a real estate transaction and I needed to pick up my check. And the only time available that I can pick up this check was before the start of the day. So I did what I had to do, as we do. And I got in my car and I drove to pick up my check. Made it through the hustle and bustle of traffic to make it to my office in New Haven, Connecticut, right on time. But when I got to the office, I did as usual, as many of us may do. You turn on your computer, you get your coffee, and you sit down. But then I noticed something. I noticed that I didn't have my check. And so I said, oh, I left it in the car. So I got up, put on my jacket, and proceeded to go to the car. And on my way, my assistant came, and she ran up to me with the phone to her ear, and she says, Roberta, there is a guy on this phone, and he found your check. And I'm like, oh my gosh. First thought, what a good Samaritan. What a good Samaritan. See, that check was for $10,800. And the good Samaritan was going to be returning it to me. And I thought, downtown New Haven, he must be a business owner or an attorney or some type of professional. And let me think a little bit further because I'm about to meet someone that I didn't see, right? So I began to imagine what this man looked like. And I imagined maybe he had some brown shoes on that was nice and shiny and a nice little belt to match. And maybe he had on a navy blue suit that was nicely tailored, crisp white shirt and a ruby red tie. And oh, it's November, so in Connecticut, it is cold. So he had to have on the best wool coat, maybe from Nordstrom's or some high-end retail store. And of course, he had to be freshly shaven. So as I am looking for him, there's another person looking for me. And this person, no, they didn't have those nice brown shoes that were shiny. He had on sneakers. They were dirty, and they were 3 sizes too big. And no, not that nice navy blue suit, the crisp white shirt and the ruby red tie. Nah, not that. He had on jeans that was too big with holes in the bottom and a sweatshirt. And oh, that wool coat from Nordstrom's? Not that either. He had on a red coat that at one point was probably red and white, but is now kind of red and tannish, and that too was about 3 sizes too big. And freshly shaven, not that either. See, the person who found my check was homeless. Now, right here in the LA area, homelessness is still an epidemic. 574,708 have been reported homeless right in this area. And of that number, 192,000 of them do not have shelter, cannot fit in a shelter. You may find them in the parks, underneath a bench, in a vacant car. That's where they live. But make no mistake whatsoever. Homelessness is not just set aside for the adults. There are so many teenage, young adults that are homeless. Matter of fact, it's been reported 550,000 of them around here. But they blend in. They work hard at blending in because they don't want the negative stereotype that we placed on homeless people. They don't want that. So they work very hard. You may see them as maybe your children's friends. Maybe the next door who you think is the neighbor. But when you think they go home, maybe their home is a car, or maybe their home is a shelter, or maybe their home is underneath a bridge. All right, I know you want to get back to the story, so let's talk about my check. So the guy who returned my check, his name is Elmer Alvarez. And here he is returning my check for over $10,000, and he is at his lowest point. Now you can imagine that this check probably could have changed some circumstances in his life, but he chose to do the right thing. And because he chose to do the right thing, I chose to do the right thing. And that right thing was to help him. Now, I could have easily put a Band-Aid on the problem, but I chose not to do that. See, a check would have been a Band-Aid. It wouldn't have fixed the problem. It would have temporarily solved the problem for him, but it did not fix it. So I thought, what can I really do? And I thought and I pondered and I asked people on social media, what do I do? And then the light bulb went off. Teaching to fish. That's what I'll do. I will teach him to fish. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to put him in my real estate school, of which I have, that's licensed in Connecticut and 11 other reciprocal states. And then he could come and work for my real estate brokerage, which is a full-service real estate brokerage, licensed in Connecticut and have affiliations in all 50 states. And then I could put his hands to work, of which I did, so that he had an income coming in. But then he's still homeless and it's Connecticut and it's freezing cold. So of course, being a real estate mogul that I am, I have to take him off the streets. And I did that too. I did that with one condition and one condition only. And that condition was to pay it forward. When you get on your feet, Elmer, you pay it forward. Now here's my ask of you today. The next time you see a homeless person or a teenage person acting out, consider not to prejudge that person, but consider compassion. Consider it. Why was I so attached and attracted to Elmer? There's multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. But I ask you to consider compassion. Now, I'm not asking you to go and pay his tuition or pay the homeless person's rent or bring him in your home. I'm not asking you to do all of that. What I'm asking you to do is to speak life. Say a kind word. Don't ignore and walk by. and teach our children to do the same. And if you have $1, give it to them if it doesn't hurt you. Now, you may be asking, why should I listen to her? Well, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me because I speak so eloquently. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me because I speak with such passion and maybe, no, not even maybe. Don't listen to me because of that. Don't listen to me because I speak with passion. Don't listen to me because I'm a real estate mogul. Don't listen to me because I have so many companies. I have 4 companies. Don't listen to me because of that. Don't listen to me because I've housed thousands and thousands of people. Don't listen to me because of that. Don't listen to me because I'm Googleable. Don't listen to me because I have a Wikipedia page. Don't listen to me because I'm cute. And I have red stilettos on. But I want you to listen to me because I survived. Listen to me because I identify. Listen to me because I identified. Identified? Yes, me. She identified with Elmer because she herself at one point was homeless. 3 words changed my life. From my godparents that took me out of a shelter. And those kind words were destined for greatness. And they said, I do not care your circumstance. I do not care who gave up on you. I don't care what mistakes you have made. You, Roberta Hoskie, you are still destined for greatness. But they saw that in the midst of my mess. They showed me compassion. And guess what? Despite every obstacle, being a teenage mother, a high school dropout, homeless, welfare, despite all of that, they still saw greatness. And that is an example of the type of compassion that we must exemplify. Yes, to homeless people, but to one another. And I'm going to say to you and show some compassion to you, and I'm going to speak life to you, and I'm also going to say to you, wherever you may be in life, you too are still destined for a greater level, and you are destined for greatness. Now, let's not forget, we will not be stereotypical with the homeless person because you'll never know what stage they may end up on. Have a blessed day.